Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. We are from Group 3 of the LC1 and we will present the topic about Malaysian Islamic Financial Institution Governance and International Islamic Bank. Here is the name of our group members. In this topic, we will discuss about the difference of Malaysian Financial Institution Governance and International Islamic Bank. Secondly, on how to improve Sharia governance in Islamic financial institution. Subsequently, the role of Sharia community in the banks, and last but not least, the conclusion of our discussion. Therefore, we will go to the first presenter.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Given my name is Azween bin Awat, metric number 1191463. So today, under the topic of comparative study between Malaysian Islamic financial institution governance and any international Islamic bank, I would like to talk about the difference between Malaysian Islamic finance institution governments from the Malaysian aspect. So let's see the first one. Malaysian Islamic Finance Institution Governance view. There are two type of difference, which is Sharia Governance Policy and also Sharia Advisory Council. So we look into the Sharia Advisory Council first. So as for Sharia Advisory Council, or the short form is SAC, it is established in May 1997, and it has the highest Sharia authority in the IFI or Islamic Finance Institution, and it also based on Sharia principle and supervised and regulated under the Bank Negara Malaysia. So in addition, the function of SAC is to advise Bank Negara Malaysia on Sharia matters regarding Islamic finance or moreover. And also, SAC is the one who validates all Islamic banking and Takaful products. So it is to ensure their capability is within the Sharia principle. And on the 2019 Central Bank of Malaysia Act 2019, SAC has been enforced to become the sole authoritative body on Sharia matter regarding on Islamic banking, Takaful, and so on. And also, for the court decision, they must refer to the ruling of SAC regarding Islamic finance. So for the term of 2019 until 2022, the SAC member was still led by the Honorable Chairman, which is Dato' Dr. Daud Bakar. And we look into the Sharia Governance Policy 2019, which is Sharia Governance Policy. It is to increase public trust in IFI or Islamic financial institution integrity, management, and business activities. This policy also was meant to lead to end-to-end Sharia compliance in Islamic financial operation through the institutionalization of governance, structures, rules, and process. And in Sharia governance policy, there are BOD or Board of Director, and also under the Board of Director, there are Sharia Committee, which the function of Sharia Committee is to provide a decision or advice the application of SAC ruling and Sharia matter of BNM. So and also provide a decision that require a reference to be made by SAC, and also provide a decision that matter that may trigger Sharia non-compliant events. And it is also said that the Sharia governance policy is to establish a booming, or what we call it as promising methodology to guide decision making process by taking count of relevant business and risk practice. That's all for me. Thank you.
Next, about the International Islamic Bank, which is in Indonesia. The law on Sharia banking is discussed further and is operational through Bank Indonesia Regulation and Bank Indonesia Circular Letter. The structure of Sharia governance in Indonesia recognizes that there are two levels of Sharia supervision. The first level of supervision is the Sharia Board, at the national level commonly referred to as the National Sharia Board (DSN), and the second is called the Sharia Supervisory Board. These both institutions are an institution formed by the Indonesia Ulema Council (MUI), which has the function of carrying out MUI tasks in matters relating to the Islamic financial activities. MUI also is an organization of ulema association originating from various Islamic organizations in Indonesia, whose status is as non-governmental organization. The comparative analysis between both Sharia governance. The main policy documents concerning Sharia governance in Malaysia and Indonesia is the Sharia Governance Policy Document (SGPD) and Bank Islam Regulation (PBI). It can be observed that both policies are issued by the respective central banks. However, regarding its applicability to Islamic finance, the SGPD covers Islamic banks, Takaful operators, licensed banks approved to carry out Islamic banks business, prescribed development financial institution approved to carry on Islamic financial business, foreign Islamic finance in Malaysia, and Sharia community members, whereby the PBI only covers Islamic banks, Islamic windows, and SSB. This is because Takaful operators and DFI are regulated by Indonesia Financial Service Authorities. Besides, it also can be found that Sharia governance in Indonesia and Malaysia has several similarities and differences in its Sharia governance practice. Sharia governance in Indonesia is observed to be not as comprehensive as in Malaysia, as the Board of Commissioner and Board of Director in Indonesia Islamic Finance Institution doesn't have an active responsibility in Sharia governance as compared to Malaysia. Furthermore, the Sharia governance in Indonesia doesn't require the establishment of Sharia control function, and there is also a lack of robust Sharia non-compliance risk management when compared to Malaysia.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name Mohamad Alim Hamdan 1191472. I will explain how to improve Sharia governance in the Islamic financial institution, or ways to improve Sharia governance in the Islamic financial institution. Bank Negara Malaysia issued a new version of Sharia governance framework, namely Sharia Governance Policy. Firstly, the new Sharia Governance Policy restricts the tenure of Sharia committee members to a maximum of 9 years in a single Islamic financial institution. The result, a fresh and a new composition of Sharia committee members is expected to deepen Sharia deliberation and the overall competence of Sharia committees. Secondly, the previous Sharia governance framework allowed Sharia committees to adopt more stringent Sharia decisions than the published rulings of the Sharia Advisory Council (CAC).
Bismillah, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Hazimi bin Hamdan and channel number is 191525. So we proceed to the next point, which is about the government must make an improvement to Sharia administration Islamic banks in terms of profit charges. It is because the loan profit charge through Islamic banking is still high and it needs to be improved. Then the parties involved needs to improve the way profit charges are levied on borrowers and be facilitators to get loans quickly. And the last point for this part is about the awareness. The state and the bank need to provide widespread awareness on the importance of Islamic banking. It's because the awareness to the public about Islamic banking is still low, and the parties, which is the government and also the bank, uh, must promote their product and services that they offer. And They also must use the quote which is Islamic banking will be better than conventional bank to influence the public to use the Islamic banking. That's all from me. Thank you.
Bismillah. My name is Mohammad Azlan bin Abdul Kadir. My matric number 1191519. Okay, today I will talk about the duties of the role or the role of Syariah committee in the banks. So, actually they have several duties for the Syariah committee in the banks. The first one is they need to provide objective and sound advice to the IFI, which is on the application of any rulings of the SAC, which is Syariah Advisory Council, or standards on Syariah matters that are applicable to the operations, business, affairs and activities of the IFI. And they need to on the matters which require a reference to be made to the SAC. And the last one, on the operations, business, affairs and activities of the IFI which may trigger a Syariah non-compliance event. Okay, the second duties, which is Syariah committee need to endorse Syariah policies and procedures. For what? To ensure that the contents do not contain any elements which are not in line with Syariah. Okay, the third one is Syariah committee need to assist related parties on Syariah matters. For what? They need to give advice on Syariah matters to the related parties of the bank, such as legal counsel, auditor or consultant. And they need to provide the necessary assistance to the requesting party. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, insyaAllah, I will continue for the role of Syariah committees in the bank. Okay, number 4, Syariah Advisory Council Bank Negara Malaysia, which is advise the bank to consult the Syariah Advisory Council of Bank Negara Malaysia on Syariah matters that could not be resolved. In cases where there are uncertainties and difference of opinions, the bank may seek advice and refer for a ruling from the Syariah Advisory Council. The request for advice should be communicated through the Secretariat of the Syariah Advisory Council. And then number 5, provide written Syariah opinions. Provide written Syariah opinions in circumstances where the bank made reference to the Syariah Advisory Council for further deliberation, or where the bank submits application to the bank for new product approval. And then lastly, number 6, assess work carried out by Syariah Review and Syariah Audit. It is to ensure compliance with Syariah matters, which forms part of their duties in providing their assessment of Syariah compliance and assurance information in the annual report. That's all from me. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Mohamad Azlin bin Ithnain and my matric number is 1191504. So for the last part is conclusion. For the conclusion, we can conclude that in terms of legal and technological regulations, it can be seen that Sharia governance in Indonesia and Malaysia are very comparable. The distinction is that Malaysia has created a more thorough structure, which is referred to as Sharia Advisory Council. Meanwhile, in Indonesia continues to see IFI through the lens of corporate governance. For example, in Malaysia we have the Syariah Committee, and the Syariah Committee can advise to the board and bank, including the bank's subsidiaries. The Syariah Committee is expected to endorse Syariah policies and procedures prepared by the bank and to ensure that the contents do not contain any elements which are not in line with Sharia. So here is some references that we use to make our assignment. So I think that's all from us. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.